Hey everybody, I'm going to give an overview of our first 6 weeks here, and there will be some more detailed overviews of particular elements, assignments, and readings. So this is just the kind of broad overview in general. So this is the first of 3 sections for the class, and I call this, just to kind of get a catchy name, A Brief History of Moral Philosophy. And I kind of think of adding with a side of happiness, because that is the kind of unique focus of our approach to moral philosophy, which certainly has been done before. However, many people say that that has been lost sight of in the study of philosophical ethics, which, if we look far enough back to the Greeks, it was just taken as a matter of course that happiness and morality are part of the same general pursuit, part of the same general life, or at least are issues that have to be considered together. So we're going to kind of keep that twin interest going really throughout the course. So in this first section, we really are focusing more, I would say, on the morality part, and the happiness stuff will come more and more to the fore as we go through the course. Given that, we will certainly look at the specific accounts of happiness that we see in the figures like Plato, Aristotle, Mill, Kant, and Hobbes. Those are really the people that we're going to focus on. So looking at here, our first round of assignments, we've got a weekly schedule of reading. I guess we're starting a little bit behind, just that the first week, I don't know about you, but I certainly needed a little turnaround time for spring to become summer, but summer it is, and here we are, and we're ready to go. So let me just kind of look at these readings here. First, we are going to start with what I would consider the kind of real big picture view and a couple of chapters from Robert Nozick, chapters 1 and 23. These are on the examined life and wisdom, respectively. We can see these as kind of part of the larger theoretical context within which we think about morality. And I think they're also connected to happiness. Plenty of interesting things there. These are broad topics and theories from Nozick. Later we're going to see some kind of more specific stuff on our emotional life from him. So there you go, chapter 1 and 23 from Nozick. We're going to have the chapter on Plato and Aristotle here from Kahn. And these are going to be original writings. We'll see that these can be fairly challenging. We also have the associated chapters from Warburton. If you have a different copy of this, it might look a little bit different. But those are actually a very good resource to kind of get clear, simple presentations of the concepts that are fairly complicated in the original writings. And also, Warburton always gives us criticisms and a glossary for each philosopher, and we want to focus on those. So we're just going to go through really the Kahn and Warburton chapters for a few weeks here, listed accordingly. We see there's a few quizzes. I think I'm going to keep it to 3. There's an outside chance at a 4th, but I think I'm just going to keep this at 3 quizzes for now. Each of those quizzes is taken from the study guide. You can see there's a link down there for the study guide. There are specific questions for each reading. Every reading has questions, and every reading has an audio overview, much like this, where I'm talking about those questions. So our quizzes will be taken from those study guides, plus, and this is important, the criticisms and glossary terms from Warburton. That's really the main use that we're going to make assessment-wise of Warburton, is that on quizzes, his discussion of criticisms and glossary terms are always fair game, unless I say otherwise. So I'm not going to necessarily mention that for, or make a separate study guide entry for that. That's kind of an ongoing inclusion. So the study guide as listed, plus those aspects from Warburton, those are our quizzes. These are really like homework. Honestly, they're not all that challenging, not so much because the questions aren't challenging, but you've got all the resources to do it. You can do it open note, open book. You can think of it as kind of ongoing homework in a quizzy kind of form. Really, I'm just keeping track of your progress on the main concepts of the material as we're going through. And that, of course, will put you in good stead for writing a paper when it's time to do that, since you'll have been keeping up. That's the main idea. Okay, I know we're graduate students. That might seem a little undergraduate-ish to you, but I think it's helpful, and that's how we'll do it. Okay, so the other thing we've got going on here, it says online. Throughout the course, there's going to be a variety of online participation assignments. These will take various forms. What I do that's a little different is that I really encourage, roughly require, but not quite, audio discussion boards, more so than text-based discussions that we're all probably very familiar with. Those are fine, and there's still a chance to do it. But if you look at the link, I've got some technology that allows a very easy and I think pretty engaging literal discussion online with voices like we're doing now, of what we would otherwise be doing with text. And there's all kinds of reasons to think that that's cool, interesting, and valuable. That being said, there will be ways for you to submit text if, for whatever reason, the audio presentation can't work, doesn't work. Let me say this, though. There's no need to feel certainly any kind of shame or anything like that if, I don't know, if English isn't your first language or you don't feel particularly articulate or anything like that. Don't worry about it. I'm certainly not going to be judging anybody on that quality of it. It's really for the purpose of getting a discussion going, and discussions are good when there are voices and many points of view. So I think it's really the way that we'd want to put it, or think of it, more so than thinking of it in terms of like there's supposed to be some kind of polished essay-like prose that I'm presenting. It's a discussion. And really, your grade for that component of the course is based on your participation. There's some consideration given to kind of full participation or just a blurb, like if you didn't really contribute something substantive. But it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's really about putting your thoughts into the marketplace of ideas, into the discussion, giving your voice. That increases and empowers, improves the discussion itself. Is simply the inclusion of your point of view. So take a look there. You might kind of do a double take for a second because it's a little bit different. Look at it again. It's actually pretty straightforward if you just kind of look at what it is. There's a couple possibilities for participation to the right. We'll have pretty much like weekly topics that we'll chime in on. There might be a week or two where we skip if we've got an essay due, but a roughly weekly participation topic might be a debate. It could be a philosophical quandary, conundrum, like what I've got to start off with. That will vary. Usually, arguably fun. So the last thing here is our first essay. That is a good portion of our points. And I will come up with a prompt for you soon. Doing something slightly different here, so I just need to kind of tweak the prompt a little bit. But that will be up for you soon. That'll be a fairly standard humanities kind of paper, not APA or MLA, but I'll have some kind of formatting guidelines for you. Really the main thing is that it's thorough analysis, and we'll go over what goes into that, and soon. We'll touch base on that. I promise I'll have that up for you soon. Okay, so that's our first things. quizzes, by the way, are taken on Blackboard, and I will always announce when it's ready. Okay?